Yo, 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 what's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the A&E Blitz, only on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, follow us over on Twitter at AE Podcast, also over on Instagram. Tim, my friend, welcome back to the show. Today, we are talking the Acolyte trailer. Holy shit.
Dude. I feel like I just shot up right before the episode started because I'm full of adrenaline right now.
Yeah.
I just watched the trailer, ready to break it down with you guys, ready to break it to you, my friend, and talk all things Acolyte. I've done zero research on the project because I want to be surprised. I'm just basing off of what all the other people are basing off of, which is the trailer. And man, let me tell you, I loved what I saw. I saw the makings of a new villain. I saw old teachings of the Jedi. I saw a very, very rare yellow saber that we don't see normally in live action. I saw a blade toss, which I've never seen outside of a video game.
Oh, I love those. So sick, aren't they?
The blade toss is pretty insane. I saw a very powerful Force user and about 10 Jedi versus at least one Sith. And that's got me pretty excited. Because whenever you have 10 Jedi against one Sith, you know that Sith's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, man, 100 years before The Phantom Menace, this one's going to take place, and it's going to be a TV series, 2-episode premiere on June 4th. I can't fucking wait, man. I can't wait. I mean, this is the one that I've been eyeing for a couple years when they announced this thing. I've been eyeing this TV series above all else because of its time frame. It's unique to its time frame, whereas the rest of the things that we watched are taking place between episode 1 and episode 9, whereas this one's 100 years before. We're really stepping outside of the Skywalker saga and trying something new. And I truthfully cannot.
Sheev is alive at this point, right?
What is it?
Sheev, Palpatine?
Palpatine would not be alive yet, no. He was 60 in The Phantom Menace.
So 40 years before he was born.
40 years before he was born.
But there's a good chance.
But his master is absolutely alive.
I'll say that 100% we see Darth Plagueis here.
Plagueis is 100% alive. So that might have been who we witnessed there at the end of the trailer.
I don't think because even the Jedi don't know about Darth Plagueis. They think the Sith have been destroyed. So
the Jedi on the Council, if these Jedi get wiped out here, then they wouldn't know.
So I'm assuming that based off the trailer we saw is that Jedi could either be Plagueis' first apprentice or one of his other apprentices before Sheev, or it's Plagueis himself. But we didn't see exactly a Sith, but we saw a woman running around with a cloak and dagger. You know, it's implied, based off how the trailer is, it implied that she was that Sith, but I don't think so.
So the woman we saw that was cloaked, fun fact, was actually Rue from the Hunger Games. She grew up a lot. But that's one of the women that we see in.
It's going to be really strange seeing her play seems like a evil character.
I know, right? Because she was so good.
She was so sweet and innocent.
So sweet. But now she's grown up, right? She's playing a role here in Star Wars, as either a dark side user or an assassin of some kind. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be an interesting show. Just kind of the direction they're going to take this thing.
Yeah, I will say it's pretty cool to see a character like somebody that kind of range growing up in Hollywood, spending time in the Hunger Games, one of the bigger film franchises this century.
Yeah.
You know, and then obviously now Star Wars, probably the biggest film series this century.
One of them, yeah.
You know.
But a lot of other, known actors are going to appear in this one. My most notable one is the South Korean actor Lee Jung-jae. He appeared in the Squid Games.
Oh, okay.
That was his breakthrough role. And then a couple other ones.
He plays that. Looks like he plays that Jedi Master. It looks like he was teaching the Padawan.
Yes.
In the trailer.
Yes, we're also going to get Daphne Keane Fernandez. She played the role of Laura in Logan.
Okay.
She was the little.
She was X-23.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Well, here's the thing. Like these series right here is how you create new household names.
Oh, it is.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like we look at like the Ahsoka show. You know, a lot of those people had like their breakout roles for the first time in a critically acclaimed series.
Yeah.
So, we'll see what that brings them in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited for this one, man. Like, we got a really good story. Basing it 100 years before, showing that initial rise of darkness that comes before we get Plagueis and Sidious kind of meddling with the Force. So I'm super excited to see what they do with this thing and kind of the direction they take.
Just imagine how powerful Plagueis was, that he taught Sheev how to manipulate the Force to create life.
Right, and he was less dedicated to it than Sheev was. He knew of it, but he wasn't as dedicated to actually mastering it as Sheev was, which is why Sheev was so successful with it. He was so successful that the Force rebelled against him and created Anakin.
Yeah, well, you look at,
created the Chosen One, like we talked about in one of our previous episodes.
Yeah, well, it's such a cool, concept and something that they haven't explored before. So I'm really hoping the Acolyte here is a way for us to bridge that gap and really show, how everything came to be. You know what I mean? Like, people have asked for, a prequel, Chancellor series, just to see, how it came to be.
Oh, dude, I would have loved to see... I forget... what was the actor who I wanted to play him? There was one actor specifically who I wanted really, really, really badly to play a young Sheev because it just made so much sense.
The guy who played Magneto. I thought it would have been a good one. He was a wonderful actor, and I would love to see him play, a younger, senator from Naboo.
What's his name? Michael Fassbender, that's who it is.
Oh yeah, dude. He looks like a Chancellor Palpatine.
Dude, you could definitely throw him in a young role as Chancellor, and it would work so well.
Oh, 100%.
I think he has the attitude, I feel like, for it. He has the range to really play that character.
And the cool thing is about the Acolyte series is that this series has a chance to span across multiple years, decades even.
Yeah, I mean,
and
you
really,
have 100 years until the Phantom Menace to play with.
And you can do whatever you want. That's what's so cool about it.
What I really love about this is they could run this all the way up until Phantom Menace if they do multiple seasons, and you can give us Sheev killing Plagueis, you can give us Dooku leaving the Order. You can give us all of these things, and it would be great to see. You can give us Sifo Dyas.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Because that was what?
Tied all together.
That was 20 years before the events of the Clone Wars? When they came, 10 years. It was 10 years they came before the Clone.
It was 10 years, yeah. So it was about the time of the Phantom Menace. That all happened about the time of the Phantom Menace. However, because you have so much room to play with in those first 100 years, you can start to show how these people feel about it. You can show us Sifo Dyas and start to see him and Dooku kind of talking about hey, we don't know if we feel so strongly about what the Order's doing, and start to show that those thoughts of doubt in their head before they actually do the things they're going to do.
When was the Separatists and the Trade Federation created? Obviously, that droid army wasn't produced in a day.
You said the Separatists and the...
Yeah, I mean, were the Separatists naturally just against the Republic, or did, Palpatine create them? I'm still not, because obviously there was no real background. It was just the Trade Federation's led by this evil, Darth Sidious. It's crazy. My encyclopedia of Star Wars knowledge is
That's
Googling
the one
stuff.
thing I actually don't know.
Yeah.
So when were the Separatists created? The Separatist crisis was the period of tension that began a decade after the invasion of Naboo, characterized by the secession of several thousand star systems from the Galactic Republic to form the Confederacy of Independent Systems, led by the charismatic ex-Jedi Master Count Dooku. So this was between 24 and 22 BBY, so before the Battle of Yavin, so 24 years prior.
Okay,
so
and
about
what
the Clone Army.
What about the Trade Federation? What was the Trade Federation created?
They've been around for a while. I know they were around for a very long time.
So this droid army was standing well before the Clone Army was even created.
I don't believe they had the drone army, because the Trade Federation was.
Here's the thing: though, you would need soldiers to defend your shipping lanes.
I don't know if they used the droids though. But the Trade Federation was created at 350 BBY.
Yeah.
So they were around for a couple hundred years.
Okay, now tell me the droid army. When was the droid army created?
The Trade Federation was a very powerful Republic Commerce Guild, trade cartel, mega corporation, and lobbying group that was founded in 350 BBY as an association of business and trade groups with its own commercial trade fleet. It was founded during that same period, 24 to 22 BBY.
Okay. Interesting.
So about the time of the Clone Wars, they were created.
Okay. Gotcha. So around the time of the invasion of Naboo.
Slightly after, yeah.
Well, they needed a droid army to invade
Or sorry, yeah,
Naboo.
I meant slightly before. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. All right,
So,
so
slightly before when Dooku started placing the doubt in their head, and then they all seceded and created, the Confederation.
well, yeah, because the Jedi and the Republic didn't have the best interests because of sanctions and
Well, because
yada yada.
they were clouded, man. They had dissolved their ideals heavily, and kind of like they watered down their own ideas, and it made them lackluster compared to their predecessors and then their future generations as well. So like they didn't really they weren't an entity of the government. They were a private entity that the government tried that the
Try to
world,
regulate.
the universe tried to rely too heavily on.
Mm.
For so long because they were these peace bringers and these balance bringers, when in reality they were thieving children from these families, bringing them up as their own, teaching them these ideas that, while sound good on paper as good ideas and good for the galaxy, in reality they were biased, towards just the Jedi and the good of the Jedi, not the good of the galaxy.
I see. Well, I don't know. It's just interesting because like they really can do so much though with this series. Like you can turn this into a show that not only explores, the early times, Plagueis, all these extracurricular players that had obviously big pieces to do with how the galaxy ended up. Because you look at Andor, right?
Yeah.
We wouldn't have known how critical Andor was until the Andor series.
Yeah, and like
Like
even,
how important he was in the grand scheme of the rebellion.
well, not only that, I mean, like there's so many little things. We wouldn't have seen, like when you first see the Death Star, right? Like you're like, this thing's massive. How'd they build it? Now we know. They use these prisons to build these pieces that they would eventually ship off and build the Death Star with.
Yeah.
So it's like you start to get those little pieces that you can put together, and like even here you can start to get those little pieces about like kind of more of the force side of things, whereas Andor was more kind of the political thriller with some action, that was kind of not, I don't want to say shoehorned in there, but like some action that was very grounded. Here you get to explore that kind of more ethereal force essence, with all these force users, both Jedi and Sith. And I really can't wait to see it. I just really hope that the choreography is more towards what Ahsoka did and less towards sequels.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of what I was hinting at. Is like Andor really like the Andor show really filled a lot of gaps. Like answer a lot of questions.
It did.
Fledged out how important this character is in the grand scheme. And like things like Sifo-Dyas, Plagueis, early Sheev, whatever the
Young
Sith
Maul.
were doing beforehand. Like I would love to see all of that.
Yeah.
And I've said openly that in our prior episodes that I would love to see what like the Sith looked like before the Rule of Two. Not that we're gonna get that at this point,
Not for this show, no.
but that's another thing I'd like to explore.
But if they can set this up well enough, right? If they set up how strong the Sith are now with these older generations, they could very easily make a case to show us what it was like before the Rule of Two.
Yeah, I would love to see like Exegol before,
Yeah, like a pre-Empire Exegol.
Yeah, pre-Empire Exegol. Like what would it look like if there was thousands of Sith running around?
Yeah.
How that would have looked, how the Jedi Sith War would have looked. I know it's been decanonized and put into Legends, but
Yeah, even if it's a
yeah,
miniature
I mean-
version, because again, like you said, like the Rule of Two is in place at this point.
Yeah, well,
Um,
like imagine like how strong the Sith would have been if there was multiple Sith, instead
Yeah.
of just two.
I agree, but the cool thing about the show is that we're also going to be getting like a young Yoda. We're going to be getting some of those Jedi who, I mean, young Yoda is like the most memorable one that we're going to see.
We're gonna get what's her name?
Oh, Yaddle?
Yeah,
Oh, the one from Tales of the Jedi.
yeah.
Will we get Yaddle? She would be alive, yeah. She would be alive at
Well,
this
yeah,
point.
because she doesn't get killed till the Anakin's the Skywalker saga. So yeah,
Yeah, she would be alive. Yeah, we might see her as well. I'm sure we'll see her. I wonder how old Ki-Adi-Mundi is. We might see more of his kind, because he actually is one who was tasked with recreating for his entire kind. He was the last male of his species.
maybe see some Mandalore.
So I would, I don't know. We do. Ooh, no, he would be too. He wouldn't be born yet.
The Jedi Mandalore War.
I was gonna say we might see Django, but it's too early for that. Just too early. Just too
It'd
early
be
for
cool.
that.
It'd be cool.
To see Django come up and how he became part of
Yeah,
the
that'd be
Mandalore
pretty
culture. Ki-Adi-Mundi's master was Yoda, so we might see him training.
Yeah, I mean, Yoda's probably what 900 at this time.
He's 900 when he dies. Yeah, he's like 90
Yeah.
something.
And then Yaddle.
Yaddle was much younger.
Yeah, Yaddle. Well, because Yaddle died at the hands of Dooku.
Yaddle was 477 when she died.
Damn.
So she was over 200 when she
When the
over 300.
when the series happened.
Yeah, she was over 300, probably over 350.
So I think we see her then.
I think we'll absolutely see her.
Yeah.
We'll see Yoda. We're a couple years too early for Mace.
A couple years, a few years.
No, he was like 60 in the canon wise. He was like 60 at Revenge.
They look great for 60.
Yeah, yeah, he was like 60 in Revenge. So he would be like 40.
Qui-Gon? Are we seeing Qui-Gon?
No, because it's too early. Because we don't even see Count yet. Count was only 60 at Phantom Menace.
Bro, there's no way. It's crazy.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. But no, I think we're gonna see some members from that Rule of Two, which is really awesome. We kind of get to see what it was like before Sheev took the learnings and interpreted them as his own, and kind of twisted them to be what they were.
Yeah, and
by the time.
I would love to see like maybe towards the end of the series before it ends, like she spending some time with Maul. Like that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's why I think they can go multiple seasons with this thing, really push it out, and get us kind of all of those extra
I would like
things.
for them to do like kind of like how American Horror Story does it. Is that each season is its own story wrapped up into one,
Yeah,
and then
show us the lineage of the Rule of Two through that.
yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I just don't know. Plagueis was a master for so long.
He wasn't human, right? No.
No. Plagueis was a the hell was he? I forget his species. He kind of looks like one of the So Plagueis' species was a moon, Muun. Not what I thought it was. He was publicly known as Higo Damask II.
Sounds like a king.
Well, he was one of the people. He was the leader of the Damask Holdings, a financial corporation. But you see them in the Clone Wars. That group of like commerce people, the one love interest that Padme has in the Clone Wars. Oh, he's just a friend, but like meanwhile he's trying to get it on with her, and then Anakin beats the shit out of him with his bare hands. Do you remember that episode? No, you're giving me the look like you had no fucking clue. But no, the people know. The people know. The people know. God damn it.
Okay, sure.
But no, like they're like a commerce guild. That they handle all the credit transfers and all of the finances for the Republic. And they're basically the ones who go corrupt at some point, and then that's what kind of how things start to go downhill with the Republic's money and things. But anyway, he used this job to like kind of fund his like secret endeavors. Because she would steal the money basically from people.
Fair enough.
He was the leader of a financial corporation, so.
Yeah,
I mean, look at
there's
the real country.
There's always an evil financial corporate leader somewhere.
But yeah, he was trained by Darth Tenebris.
Darth Tenebris.
And then he trained in 67. The apprentice. Oh, so he would be an apprentice here.
Oh, really? Plagueis is an apprentice at this point?
He would be long an apprentice. Holy shit. Damascus was born between 147 and 120 BBY to a female moon and a male moon. So he's not even, he might not even be born yet.
He becomes a master that quick?
At the earliest, he would be born in 120 BBY, which is at the start of the series. He murders his master at 60 years old.
Then,
Or 53.
okay, so then how old is Palpatine when he murders Plagueis?
So Plagueis dies in 32 BBY. So about 25, 30, something like that.
About 8 years before the Phantom Menace.
How old was
Bro, the timelines right now are crazy.
Darth? Dude, it's crazy, right? Palpatine was born in 84 BBY, rendering him 52 in The Phantom Menace, 65 in Revenge of the Sith, and 88 in Return of the Jedi.
What?
He's 52 at the start of The Phantom Menace.
Okay. And then...
Which is 32 BBY, which is the start.
So
he's 52 when he kills Plagueis.
So at the start, literally at the Phantom Menace.
Yeah, it's like when he gets killed. We're going to see Plagueis' master as an apprentice here, probably.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's fucking wild, isn't it?
And here I thought the Sith lived for a long time. Apparently they're just clapping each other every 30 years.
Well, that's what they do, man.
That's crazy.
That's why the rule of two works. They get stronger because they learn a lot of knowledge and they kill them. And then they keep making the same mistake over and over and
that's
over.
Crazy. Like, I would never have an apprentice. I'd just be like, no, I'll just give you rule one. Just be me. When I get old and I want to die, then, so be it. You know what I mean?
I mean, hey, man. It's the...
And here we are joined by our co-star, Ryder.
What's up, buddy? But yeah, man, this series has promise. I think there's a lot that they can delve into. I think that there's a lot of storylines you can jump down with both Sith and Jedi side, right? There's a lot of people who are alive at this point that we know of. A lot of people we don't know of.
There's a lot of characters we want to explore. A lot. Yeah.
And then there's just a lot of cool shit that goes on. Like, we could even see, like, Padme's parents, grandparents on Naboo and, like, learn about... Like, if they travel the galaxy, I don't know where it's going to take place, but if they travel the galaxy...
Well, like, look at Andor. Andor went to, like, 40 different planets.
Yeah.
So, I mean, expect to see a lot of different sceneries and, places and...
Yeah, because, I mean, there's not much on it in terms of, like, kind of where it's going to be. It did some filming in Portugal... And that's pretty much the only place it lists. I mean, there's a couple other ones that I'm sure they filmed at, but that's the only one that lists on the Wikipedia.
Solid. I mean, I think it's going to be a great episode, man. Can't wait to dive into it. Yeah, June 12th, man. Can't wait. Super excited.
Yeah, I'm excited for it to come out and explore everything. So, like always, if you aren't yet, follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, #X. Follow us on YouTube, where you're listening to this. Go ahead and follow us over on Google, Apple, or Spotify podcast. And yeah, I think that's all we have for you today. First Star Wars topic in a while. Well, I mean, no, we did Anakin a couple weeks ago, but first one we've getting back into it. But yeah, I'm super excited for the future here of Star Wars and for this podcast, man. And these episodes here on YouTube with Blitz. I think we're ready to say peace out.
May the Force be with you.